Hey, what's up? It's Comic 95, that's Xavier. So, I just want to kind of like have a little bit of a ranty talk to you guys. I've made similar videos to this before, but I feel like it needs to be said again for my own self. I feel like being in Japan for a long time and like having dated so many guys, like I don't say this to exaggerate or anything, and keep in mind, dating does not mean fucking. Dating is just that. Dating somebody, you know, because you want to find a good partner, you want a boyfriend, you're thinking about getting married. Trust and believe. I've been on thousands of dates, like without exaggeration. I've dated so many people. I would literally need to like sit down and like go through some hypnosis or something, like actually memorize people's names. I could literally walk by you and have dated you and like not even remember you. So, with that said, yeah, I don't say that to brag, so to speak, but rather to say, after having dated so many people, my perspective of men has changed so much. And I've talked about this like several times in videos. Oh, I got my snacks with me, y'all. These little donuts are delicious. My man put me on these, and let me tell y'all, these donuts do not taste the same if you buy them from other brands. I got these, the top value ones that you can get from My Basket or Eon. I got these from My Basket, but which is Eon, but you know what I mean. It's their little mini store. So yeah, they're delicious. This is my last one. Of course, I gotta have my green tea, and I also got top value generic green tea. But yeah, it really changes the way that you date, because like after you deal with dating men that do absolutely nothing for you, like bare minimum, you're going to McDonald's, he's too busy, he can't text you back, he takes days to get back to you, he never has time to see you, you can't meet his friends, you can't meet his family, he's secretive, and then you go from that to dating a guy that just goes all out on you, buys you gifts, takes you out and you have experiences. You cannot go back. Like once you start dating, like I'm not even just talking about the high value part. We're going to get to that part later on. But like just dating men that truly care about you and love you, it completely changes everything. And keep in mind, like even when you're listening to me or like other people, don't get confused. Somebody loving you or having a good relationship does not mean it's going to end in marriage and it's going to last forever. But just being taken care of, even by the wrong person, but having someone that genuinely loved and cared about you, and they showed it to you through their actions, by the way that they spend on you, by the way that they talk to you, listen to you, care for you, just everything, and be really in tune to your love language. All of that stuff, you have to learn, like especially for somebody like me. I grew up inside of a household where my parents were married, but they might as well have just been divorced. So much drama, so much crap between drugs, abuse, and just everything you could think of. Still to this day, my parents have never now they try to preach me, I'm not gonna get to that crap. My parents don't really give a crap about what I do in my life. They don't care if I get married. They don't care if, their goal for me was to not get in a gang, try to stay out of jail. Please don't become a teen mom because it's going to make me look bad. Those are my goals when I was a kid. Now that I'm an adult, my parents, fuck it. Look, I'm surprised because, we knew you were a hoe since you were 9 years old before you were actually a hoe. I'm surprised you're not pregnant yet, bitch. Like, how many abortions you have? That's the type of parents that I got, okay? They don't care about what I do. Sadly. They'll tell you otherwise, but their actions say differently. And that's another story. But my point and the reason why I'm saying that to you, sorry about my messy bed over here, you have to learn a lot on your own. I did. And I imagine a lot of you guys can relate to me, because I didn't have anybody telling me a man needs to do this, show you that he cares about you, or a man shouldn't do this if he does. Some things are just common sense. Like I know, like if I'm out to watch, you can't play whatever. Like plenty of people go through worse things, you have to do that. Okay, we're not talking about other people. We're talking about me. So don't try to take accountability off of yourself. I pray to God that that my children never have to experience what I did. I really want to spend, and my kids are going to hate me for it, but when they're old, they'll appreciate it. I hope. I would definitely take the time to like constantly sit down with my kids and make sure they're on the right track. I want them to go to school. I want them to get married early. I want them to find good partners and so much more, but I'll make other videos on that. I just wanted to say that when you go from dating people that treat you like crap, it's so hard to go back to it. Because even recently, I found myself in situations where I was dating people that were treating me like trash. And while the desperate, clingy me wanted to hold on to them, the new me was like, we don't do this anymore. Like, you don't even speak their language. Like, I don't mean it like in the physical sense, but that too. But you know what I mean? Like, I just felt like I cannot do this. After being wined and dined and taken care of by a man, and now having another guy decide, oh, you can buy that yourself. You got money for that? I'm too busy. Sorry, I can't see you this week. I have plans. Maybe next week. Going from that to a man that's 10 times busier, but still makes time for you. You can't do that. Going from a man that hides you from his friends, downplays your relationship, tries to act like you're just his friend, to a guy that's willing to show you off, this is my girlfriend. You can't go back. Like, there's no going back. And so, again, like, I'm not even just so much talking. When I say money, I'm not even talking like a guy, like, buying you Louis Vuitton bags and shit. I'm just talking about, like, going out for a decent meal every once in a while. And I said this before, and this is not rocket science, but a lot of people don't know this. Men spend their money and their time on women that they love. If he ain't doing it for you, he doing it for Sachiko. That's all I gotta say to that. And so many people, like, have this whole, modernized mindset where it's like, oh, well, women can work too. We can do, oh, FYI, hack you guys, if you don't have a satin pillowcase, robes work just fine. But, yeah. Anyway, yes, like, people have this whole, we can buy stuff for ourselves too. It's not the inability to buy things for yourself, although there's nothing wrong with that either. But it's a matter of when people love and care about you, this is how they show you. Women do it too. As a man, you really know that a woman cares about you when she's spending her own money on you. And that's why a lot of guys actually want these little 50-50 girls for dates, because then they feel like it's a way of distinguishing, okay, by you paying for your half. Now, I know that you're not in it for the money, which that's actually not a good indicator either, because if you're a smart girl and you're dating a guy that has money, you can very much indeed pay your half, because it's an investment to trick him into thinking that you're not using for the money when really you are. But that's another story. We ain't going to talk about that right now. I'll give y'all some of my game later on. But yeah, I was just like, this is just a ranty video. I was just thinking to myself, like, it's crazy how much I've grown. But I've had some really bad, messed up dates recently, don't get me wrong. But I couldn't do it. I literally, even when I tried to play the game, play along, play, my part, the role, to keep the peace, the imaginary peace, the peace for them, I couldn't do it. Because all I could do is think back to my old relationships. Like, I had guys that I just knew for an hour that did more than what you did after, a month or a week or whatever. Like, and it's not even a comparison on how much money's being spent, but the way they're spending it, what they're spending it on, how they're acting. It's a really, really, really big difference. So, it's just so crazy. So, I don't want you to ever go through what I went through with the bad parts, but I want you to experience the good parts of relationships. And this goes for men too. So for the men that are watching this, like, this is not just a gold digging, bitch type video. For the men that are watching this, I hope that you do get to experience a woman that wants to cook and clean for you, and not because you begged her to or asked her to, but she wants to impress you. A woman that goes out and buys you gifts, that makes you things, from scratch, handmade stuff, like, just shows you that she really loves you. And I hope that you experience it someday, so that even if the relationship doesn't last, and God forbid that happens, I'm not trying to speak bad things over you, but that you will now learn and know moving forward, it's not that the right one or whatever got away, but this person, see them as somebody that taught you a lesson, both good and bad. You've now learned, this is how a woman is supposed to treat me. This is how a man is supposed to treat me. And now moving forward, you ain't gonna put up with that bullshit that you used to put up with, previously. You used to think, oh, okay, well, I should just be grateful that, at least she's gonna, go on a date with me. Maybe you want to hold hands with her. She's like, I don't want to hold your hand. But now you have a girl that does that. And don't feel like it's the end of the world if you lose that relationship. Instead, moving forward, now you have new criteria. Don't be afraid to raise the bar, just like how girls raise theirs too. You can say, my last girl, we had a regular sexual relationship. I didn't have to wait, until Saturday. She wanted me every day, or she wanted me, every other day, or 3 times a week. Whatever you have going on. Don't settle for that. I can speak on that too. I cannot tell you. I'm not trying to get TMI with you all because I want to embarrass my man. But I have definitely dated mostly, hear me out, most of the people that I've dated did not like to cuddle. My man now, Shoot, he lift my leg up, wrap his arm around me on his own, and tie his hands together to make sure he stays with me through the night, okay? I've dated men that weren't affectionate, that didn't like to kiss, didn't like to have sex, didn't care about making me feel good. Again, not to get TMI, went to an adult store and he dropped $100 on me. You know, I never even spent that much money buying myself toys. The most I spent on an individual toy, I think, was maybe $30 or something. That's too much information. Back on subject. The only toy that's worth buying is a wand, people. All them other toys are shit. But okay, back on subject. TMI. All I'm trying to say is, like, when you go from dating, even if you've mostly dated people that are trash to you, all it takes is that one person to treat you right and show you, you know, your true value, what you're worth, and it just changes, like, everything for you. And again, this is not just a woman only thing. It goes for men too. When you've done with nothing but dated girls that just use you, that take advantage of you, that don't care about you, do a half-ass job as a girlfriend or as a wife, you might feel like this is all you deserve. It's all you've ever gotten. But all it takes is dating that one person that does, or even if you've never dated that one person, knowing that that person is out there. Do not settle for less than what you deserve. You might not get it at the time that you want to have it, but you will get it. You just have to be proactive and go out there for it. Like, even for myself, even if this relationship doesn't last and, you know, shit hits the ceiling fan, whatever the fuck you want to call it, I know there is someone else out there. And I might get sad and upset, and my patrons know how dramatic I am. But I know that if I'm patient in the future, it will all work out. I will find another partner. I will. You just have to be patient. And a lot of people that complain about, oh, you know, I can't find anybody. Everybody, and don't get me wrong, there's a lot of trash to sift through. I ain't saying everything cupcakes and rainbows here. That's not what I'm getting at. But you have to put in some effort and, you know, some work yourself. A lot of people just want to sit back, look pretty, and they want people to come to them. And sure, you can do that as a girl, but you also have to put yourself in the right places and be a little proactive. Otherwise, this is how you get to be 40, 50, 60, 70 years old, having gone 5, 10 years out of a relationship, never getting married, and not to knock you or bash you if you're not and you're that age, it's literally never too late to get married. It really isn't. You can always, no matter what you've done, you can always go back and fix it. You can always start a new path, a new story. Even as I'm speaking to you right now, I've lost everything. And I feel really embarrassed if I'm not inside that apartment anymore. I lost all my furniture, all of it. I have almost none of my clothes. I have almost none of my personal items. Almost everything is gone. And I don't even have it yet. I'm speaking into existence. I know that I will get it back. And I've already gotten back a lot right now, just by the person I'm dating. That's whose house I'm inside of right now. If I didn't lose all of that stuff, I would have never got back on Paris. I would have never met that man. And the reason why we met is because my account was deleted. I made a new account and it boosted me to the top, and that's how I met that guy. Otherwise, we would have probably never seen each other on the app. We definitely wouldn't have crossed paths in person because we don't go to the same places at all. We don't take the same train. We live in the same city, but not on the same side. He's all the way on the north side. It changes everything. One little, setback, if you will. Something that I didn't have planned. Something that I didn't want to have. Sometimes it takes losing everything or everyone or somebody you think you really love to help you find the person you're supposed to be with. And everyone that you meet and date, they teach you something. Even if it's not good, they teach you what you shouldn't put up with. What you don't want. I was really, really heartbroken. I'll say his name here. I've said it on Patreon already. But, I'm not going to say it. One of the guys that I dated, my previous fiance back in Osaka, I was really, really hurt. And I talked about this before. I literally had like anxiety and panic attacks. And people say that all the time. And I normally roll my eyes like, these Gen Z people trying to self-diagnose themselves. No, I experienced it, y'all. I went batshit crazy, like the craziest I've ever been. I was hearing alarms and jumping up out of my sleep, and my heart was beating fast and racing, and I was having night sweats. I went completely crazy. I didn't know how to live. I was trying my best to go a day without messaging him, without calling him. I was emailing him. I was sending him money. I was crazy, you all. Crazy. Okay? I didn't know it was possible to get me that way, but I was. It took me a long time to get myself together. But I did. And if it wasn't for doing that, I would have never downloaded Paris. I would have never gone back to Tokyo. Look at I would have never experienced the salary that I recently had. All of the things that I've experienced just this past year is because of one breakup. Both the good and the bad, and it's mostly been good. So, all I want to say is, not the whole generic, oh, know your worth, but no, understand that there's someone better for you out there, and that after you've experienced being treated well, it's going to be hard to go back. Because after you realize you've been tricked all this time, you've been tricked into believing I'm supposed to be treated like shit. You've been tricked with my donut. You've been tricked. Sorry guys, crunchy noise warning, headphone users, take out your headphones. But you've been tricked into believing that, you know, you're not important, or it's impossible to find a girl with a high sex drive like you. It's impossible to find a man that wants to hug you and hold your hand in person. It's impossible to find somebody that wants to cuddle at night. It's impossible to find a man that wants to make sure you have an orgasm. Like, you think all of these things, you're asking for too much. And again, sorry for the cliche saying, but you're just asking the wrong person. That's all. And again, sometimes it really does, having bad experiences, bad days, meeting and dating the wrong person for you to learn what you need, what you want. When I was dating my ex-fiance, the first one, he didn't like to cuddle. And it really hurt. He didn't like to cuddle, and he didn't like sex. And I think the sex part was honestly a matter of insecurity. We're not going to get into that part. Sorry guys, I accidentally deleted the video, but I was saying, we're not going to get into that. I'm going to keep it cute. But, yeah. So I felt like, okay, I have to settle for this, because the only way I'm going to get a guy that's this tall and treats me this good and is this nice to me and, you know, looks this way, I have to do X, Y, and Z. And then what do you know? Met somebody that treated me better, spent more on me, liked to cuddle, liked to have sex, and every time you think, wow, it couldn't get any better than this, it just does. So, don't be impatient. It sucks. Trust me, I am not patient at all. I hate waiting when it comes to love, but it's worth it. So, sorry, y'all. Kimochi donuts, so. Sorry, y'all. Sorry, parents. Your kids are not watching porn. It's just me eating good food. Okay. Oh. Okay. Sorry, y'all. I gotta be fat. My nose itching. I'm a little bit sick too, man. Also, I have a little bit of a cold. But yeah, like, it's crazy, like, just how much I've changed. I was just thinking about it recently, and the reason why I talk about this is Halloween is on Monday. I was talking to my boyfriend, and he asked me what I wanted to do for Halloween. And so we're supposed to be going to Shibuya Sky, and so, like, he was giving me options that, you know, not that I've never experienced before, because I know I'm also date high value men, but I was, like, comparing it back to guys that I've previously dated. So he's asked me, like, do you want to get the champagne set, or the drinks, or do you just want to get a regular ticket? And I'm like, get the champagne set? Oh. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you're so used to just doing cheap stuff, or being treated badly, like, oh, you know, I have to work, or I'm tired, I don't care about Halloween. And this is actually my first time actually going out together for Halloween with someone. Second time. I did technically go out last year. I went out with Jinbei, but we literally just walked around Akihabara for a second. But yeah, it just, like, it made me so happy. And then, like, the fact that he's trying to find more places to go to afterwards. Oh, what do you want to do? Where do you want to go? Like, everything that I say is yes. You want to do this? Okay, yes. And so, like, and then, like, the other thing too, like, when we are planning to go there, he was like, oh, like, you know, let's go ring shopping. Now, I'm not getting married yet, but yeah, he was like, you know, let's go to the jewelry store too. And so, like, you know, just little things like that makes me happy, because other guys that I dated, they could never. I'm busy, like, it's expensive, I don't want to buy that, like, maybe later, maybe for your birthday. And then, like, getting a dress because going out to celebrate an American holiday because you want to make me happy, make me feel comfortable here. He's already, like, he got really into the spirit. He was trying to decorate here, and he was talking about, we can go here and buy Christmas decorations and this and the other. Because, like, we went to the Awesome store in Ikebukuro, so just little things like that. It's the small things. Not about how much money is being spent, but it's the effort that's being put in. Like, just the fact that you're trying to do stuff that you know is going to make me happy, which, of course, we're adults here. Most of what makes adults happy does involve money. Let's just keep it real. Same thing goes for men. Things that make men happy, besides sex, it typically deals with money. Men like electronics. Men like, games like electronics. They like electronics and shit. Okay, it costs money. Men like books. They like tool sets and building stuff. That stuff is not free, okay? So, yeah. It just, like, really... It makes me sad too at the same time because I think about all the stuff that I put up with that I shouldn't have, that I thought that I had to in order to get married, in order to have a boyfriend, because I'm not married yet. So, but you don't have to. And again, like, don't feel bad or stupid like if things don't work out. For example, with this guy, for any reason things don't work out with us, I don't feel bad about it. I enjoy myself. I had a good time, sexually, mentally.